Hi, I'm Marianne Benetti, and I'm here in my blue and yellow garden. And because I'm kind of a lazy gardener, I get a lot of the yellow from foliage, like the Japanese foliage grass. Blue I use using mostly paint, even these glass flowers here. But there is an easy to grow blue flower, and it is the salvias, these newer blue salvia. This is called blue night salvia, and it has these deep, deep blue flowers, which I think stand out great with all this yellow foliage. But to maintain this color going all summer, one thing I like to do is deadhead the spent blossoms. So here is a blossom that is already bloomed. When they bloom, they're on these spikes like this. This is getting ready to bloom. See how it's very dark? When it's done blooming and the flowers have fallen off, I get in with my clippers and I go down really, really far, and I remove the entire stem. What that does is that allows these side shoots here to sprout out and have more flowers. See, this guy's getting ready to bloom, and this is done blooming. And this is one in bloom. So by deadheading, you keep them in bloom. But now that it's near the end of summer, I'm going to show you how to take cuttings of this plant so I'll have a nice supply for next year. This salvia is rather tender, which means if we get a very bad cold winter with lots of days close to 0 degrees, this entire plant will die. It's a tender salvia. But if you take cuttings right now, and I'm going to look for cuttings, about the length of a pencil. Here's a nice side shoot. Not one with flowers on it. I want just the vegetative growth. I'm going to reach in here, clip this off right at a joint. And it's important that I'm going to go ahead and remove these lower leaves, these two leaves on the side. I'm going to pull these off because that exposes these little bumps or nodes, and that's where the new roots will come from. So what I'm going to do, I have a container here of well-draining potting soil, and I simply push this into the potting soil, making sure that the joints or nodes are covered with the soil. Okay. Now I'll water that, and I will keep it someplace where it will not freeze in the winter. A cold frame, if you have a greenhouse, that works. And then in the spring, these will be well rooted. And around May, when there's out of the danger of any killing hard frost, I'll transplant this back into the ground. And before the end of the summer next year, it's going to look just like the mother plant. So these great big large salvias, they are more tender. You can take cuttings of them, and this is called asexual propagation. You're taking a cutting of exactly of the mother plant. You can do this for your own garden, but you're not allowed to asexually propagate plants like this blue night salvia when they have a patent on them. They're a new variety, and every plant that is sold, a royalty goes back to the plant breeder. But for your own personal use, you can take as many cuttings as you want. Just don't take cuttings and try to sell them to the public. All right, this has been Marianne Benetti with easy answers for great gardens.